Hello everyone. Welcome to another demo. We're looking at Master of Command today. This comes out on the 27th of October 2025. And it is by the same people who made a game called Fire Manouvre a few years ago. Now I kind of like that game, but it was incomplete. And then from what I gather, they found funding. They had to cut funding from that game, production and funding. And instead they focused on this game. So this is supposed to be the game that's more complete. And, well, I tried it out yesterday. I thought I'd just give it a look for, I don't know, for like 20 minutes to half an hour. And then I ended up playing it for 2.5 hours. It's not the best game, but it's fun enough. And I really like the art style. It's like, well, when we get into it, you'll see. It's kind of like Total War, but instead of the strategic layer, you get more of a Battle Brothers / Mountain Blade style map layer where you go around looting towns and camps and convoys and such, and then you equip your regiments with items to make them stronger and stuff like that. So the way it will go in the full game is you pick your country, right? Let me just quickly go back. This is the demo, so we can only be the Prussians, but I'm not complaining. Eventually we'll have the United Kingdom, or the British Empire rather, Austria, Russia, I believe, and France, and Prussia, of course. And it looks like we'll have different leaders with different stats for every one of these armies, so there's a lot of ways to play it, and everyone's got their own little stats. I'll save you the grief. This particular army, this Frederick's army, basically you get free reinforcements in every city you visit. So you can reinforce your armies a lot quicker, which is pretty great. Now we've got a bunch of... let's see, we've got a bunch of scenarios. How it'll work in the full game is you'll have 3 acts. And then this is for the first act, and the demo only goes until the first act. We won't be playing through the whole of the first act, because I want to make this as compact as possible. I just want to show you the concept, what they're trying to do here. I guess we'll fight the Russians. We can fight the Russians, or we can fight the French in this scenario, or the Austrians. We'll fight the Russians. Now, a lot of the smaller details are very historically accurate. The weapons, the troop, the regiment names, and so on and so forth. And I really like the art style, like I said. It's very fun. I think this is the Armchair Historian, which I think is a YouTube channel. I think I've seen some of their videos before. Anyway, this is the start we get. We start with Prussian musketeers, who are pretty strong, and you've got your provincial cavalry, which is fine, and you get 2 cantonist recruits. So these are just these guys are not that great, but they will level up into something great. You can see you've got some when they get 4 experience, they can be Prussian musketeers as well, but they can also break off into other things, and then there are other even more paths you can take. And then technically in the full game, when you finish an act, when you move on to the second act, you're going to be keeping these armies and these units, so you're going to get stronger as you go along. So those are details that I kind of like. My cat is going nuts inside. She really wants my attention. Let's see, what's this? This can go on cavalry and regular infantry. We're going to give this... So these items, this gives you reload and accuracy. This item gives us reload and move speed. May as well go hard on the move speed here. I don't want to give them tobacco. Hello, kitty. What? But we played around before every single time. Every time. You know what? If you want to be hugged, it's time you show your face to everybody. Here's a little behind the scenes footage. This is my boss. She's the one that, she basically leads my life. She's responsible for everything. She's also my supervisor. Oh! And she's also gone. Alright. Enough yapping. We've been yapping a lot. Now it'll tell you to loot a supply cache, and you will. Always go for coins, at least in the demo, if you're gonna try it. And you fight a weak army to start out with. Now, when I first tried to play this, I went for typical Total War tactics where I wanted to shock and awe my enemy into retreat. It doesn't really work like that. You need to tie them up with a shooting match first, and then you want to engage eventually, and then after you engage, you want to charge them with... There are different layers to it. I actually managed to win a campaign yesterday, and I'll show a save file of the final fight just before we fought them. Before I end the video, just to show it. The fight itself is very long, so I won't... This will be your first fight. So we looted the camp, we got a bunch of money and some other stuff, and now we get to fight this army. So they've only got 3 regiments, so this is an easy fight. And what we're going to do... These Prussian musketeers, they will eventually line up here. We can get artillery, but later on. And what we want to do is we want you to keep a square formation behind. We're going to be moving these guys here, and then these lines will just be protecting this hill. And this is our leader unit, who provides a little bit of a morale boost. There are no spells, like in Total War. No hero abilities whatsoever. It's very... I want to say compact, and I'm not sure if that's an accurate thing to say. Why can't... Please... Alright, please, why are you being strange? Anyway, as I said, I really like the art style. Come on, buddy! Alright, there we go. Let's just start deployment real quick. Pause, and, I want these guys to line up like this. And I want the cavalry to line up this way. So we can charge them up. You will be more of a position like this. And then... It's not very difficult, but at the same time I'm only playing on normal difficulty. There are harder difficulties, but I think it mainly makes the campaign a little tougher. Alright, those are our move orders. We're going to speed things up a little bit. Just slow it down and show you. They're not very animated, it's not overly animated, but it's cool enough. And I really like watching the units march. It's fun. It's like watching a little... It's like watching toy armies clash. I kind of like that. It feels like toys are models. Not exactly figurines, but little... Instead of little green men, little musket men, I guess. The music is also on point, which isn't difficult to do if you consider all the excellent classical music of the era. I want you to line up behind these guys because they're our center flank, and we want to make sure... Actually, that's not true. I would like you to line up... Thing is, this guy gives morale, right? So we kind of want him close to the more lower level armies. Alright, his cavalry is positioning to charge our hill right here, which is why I'm going to keep my cavalry facing that way. And we've engaged. We do have fire at will, so they will be engaging. Still fairly disciplined. I am a little surprised. And then we're just gonna tie you up. You guys can march a little bit as well. Now they're reloading. You can get, every army has different reload speeds. You get different muskets that have different reload speeds, but have different shock factors, and so on. And your job will be to tie these guys up. So their cavalry is positioning on our flank this way. So we... Oh, that was Frederick's over here. Okay. I understand. They want to ensure that their cavalry's marking ours. That's fine. They're going to be charging probably the flank now. Now we've tied them up, right? So we kind of want... Start firing. Now they're engaged in a shooting war right here. And we've got tree cover here, as opposed to them. I imagine with harder difficulties, their armies probably won't charge at us directly. It is really easy to just wait for them to engage you. But if you like a fair amount of historic accuracy, and you enjoy watching little animated soldiers shoot each other, it's very good. Now I'm going to move my musketeers a little closer. Oh, they're already rallying. So now we can shoot here. And I'm going to ensure that they charge. So you're getting ready to charge my army. They're charging, and we're going to charge them. But we're in the forest, so we're going to be a little slower. But at the same time, just as we're about to clash, they're going to be taking a big hit to their speed. And then as we're clashing right now, we want to position ourselves here so we can charge with our infantry. And then we want to position here so we can charge with them as well. And then I'm going to charge the Russians right here. Just in time for our cavalry to run away a little bit. Where's Frederick? Alright, Frederick, we're going to want you to charge these guys as well. The fun part is, when we rout all of them, the combat's over, of course. And they will be routed in a little bit. When you're charging, you want a more box-like formation. When you're firing, you want a line formation. Basic stuff for this era. Frederick's taking a sweet-ass time. Frederick, you need... Alright, never mind. And we've won. So just like in Total War, when you win, you get money, which is very handy, as you'll see in a bit. But also, you get loot. And we've only lost 300 men. The first town we enter, we're going to be getting all those men back. So I'm just going to get all the money and ammunition I can get. We get promotions, so if he gets promoted 3 more times, he can be a Prussian infantryman himself. We'll try restocking as much as possible. It's fairly fine. We'll easily get over this. Let's see, light saddles. Yes. Stamina and move speed, of course. Oh, we've got ourselves better swords. We've got ourselves... So you can change your muskets like you can see here. Let's change our bayonets into something nicer. Accuracy and reload, sure. We're making this group a little better. But casualty restores and attrition, sure. And then we're selling the rest of this. So this is the... we have to reinforce 4 outposts and secure 5 battlefields. These are just map events. There's a battlefield right here. So you get to these events and then you can You can choose a bunch of stuff. Receive provisions, but enemy HQ is delayed. And when enemy HQ is full, you fight a very big army. So, essentially, you're going around the map, visiting towns, visiting events, trying to bolster your army, make them stronger, so that you can face the HQ enemy at the end. That's the whole thing. I'm going to make them faster, and we're going to receive 4 civilian items because these are actually worth decent amounts of money. Also, they make our regiments stronger. There should be a city around here. I'll check the battlefield. We need to secure outposts. Duel with rapiers, duel with sabers. If we had an extra officer in reserve, we could engage in that. Maybe we'll go back later. Okay, this is our first city. When we enter the city, we're going to get a bunch of reservists. As you can see, that's our army's ability. It's their racial ability, I'll call it. It's like in Total War. Every time we visit a city, we just get a bunch of free men, which is handy. Now, let's see. What do we got here? Polished. Move speed +4. These are cavalry only, so we'll take it. Veterancy gained and morale. We haven't given them anything, so we're going to be giving you a bunch of stuff here. What's this? Charge and accuracy? Spirit rations. And beer rations. We're Prussian, so we love beer. And then basically when we sell these items, we're going to also get ourselves a big fat stack of cash. And what we kind of want to do is, if this was a big city, we could recruit an officer here, but it's not a big city. So instead, what we'll do with our money is we'll purchase a new brigade. And with our remaining money, which isn't enough to do what I wanted to do, we won't be doing anything. Okay, so we need to win some more combat to be able to enforce this. We can keep this open, it's fine. We're not going to lose anything for it. Maybe buying some provisions, though. How much provisions? 5? That should be enough. Alright, let's head on over to the slums. You can get more units this way. Sell off some excess provisions. Whoa, that's actually very good for us, so we can go back. Also, I can now reinforce my army entirely. There we go. So we go back here. Now we've got money to buy ourselves a group of recruits. And there you go. And now we look for a fight, because that's the best way. Well, it's almost the only way. Events and fights are the only way you're actually going to earn any money. Again, I can't duel, but we will be. You can fight this guy. Now we're a little stronger. But he's got hussars this time. So, last time their cavalry wasn't very strong. This time, they are pretty strong. And then when you get artillery, it's obviously a massive boost to your shock. Now, like I said, the AI isn't too complex yet. They will just charge us. The only real challenge is mirroring their cavalry with yours. Also, if they had artillery, positioning your cavalry in such a way that you can neutralize their artillery. But, you know, that's not really... I think I'm... Alright. That's what I wanted to do. Stick you up like this. Let's deploy. Pause. I'm just going to grab all of these men. And then we're going to say... Take a position as such. Nothing complicated. And there they go. As you can see, they're charging us. They're pretty much walking towards us, so you're never really having to find yourself in a position where your strategy is that important. But this is just normal difficulty. There are 2 more difficulties after this, I believe. Alright, let's slow down a little bit, and then wait. Our recruits are a lot faster, of course. Now they still have to cross a river, which means we can engage a lot quicker. Now we've tied them up. Our reservists here are going to have plenty of time to get in position, as will these fellows. Like I said, the music is very appropriate on so many levels. Alright, you can actually move forward a little bit here. The aim here, generally, the way these fights go, you get into a little bit of a shooting match. And then, after you've routed a couple of them, you basically charge. Just exactly what you saw happen the first time. These are just recruits. These are the real elite units they have. So, all of the others are just... Alright, you guys don't have time to move around that much anymore. They're firing uphill, so we don't really mind that much. Keep you here, keep you positioned here, so that we can... scare some of these guys. Alright, you're gonna tie them up, and you're a lot better than them. So the Pandur Musketeers, they're not in good shape right here. So, time to attack the frontier units. You... I'm gonna keep Frederick back a little bit here. So we're gonna win this engagement easily. It is kind of funny that your horsemen just sort of walk in front of your firing line, but no, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I meant these guys. And then just charge them. You charge them as well. And you move back. You move over here. And charge these guys. So they're shattered. They're not coming back anytime soon. Hussars are crossing. They're actually going to try and cross the bridge. The river. Start firing on them. This is where artillery would be great. Now you fire on them. You work away on them. They're fine. Our cavalry has wandered all the way into the water. We don't want that. You guys stay back. Stay back. Go back into firing range. Move back, move back. Alright, they actually shattered... They've shattered our cavalry, but maybe Frederick can inspire them. Alright, so this fight is mostly... Yeah, if we can break their hussars, we're golden. Hey, rally. Rally. Come on. I think once they're shattered, they can't rally. It's fine, it wasn't the cleanest fight from us. So they're gonna be flanked here. And here. So these guys are also... As you can see, yeah, the hussars are the biggest problem here. If we can get a full surround on them, I don't think there's anything they can do, really. And then there's also, like, if I fire from here, these guys aren't actually going to get hit. These hussars are a huge problem. Has Frederick run away? Frederick has run away. Imagine if I lose this. It would be a little embarrassing, wouldn't it? Alright, you guys, double time, come on. Hurry up. Everyone's shattered? That's not good. So like I said, the hussars are the worst problem. Alright, ignore us losing this fight. Pretend that we did really well here and we didn't lose to hussars. At least these are I want to say elite, but they're not that elite. Double time, gentlemen. Double time. So we are getting shot from behind, which isn't great. Let's get one volley off. And then fight him. Alright, we finally got them to retreat. So if we can rout this army, we're done and we're saved. Our embarrassment will be hopefully erased. Now you guys have no chance. These are Prussian musketeers. There's supposed to be tech trees and whatnot. I haven't seen them yet. Don't go... Hey, stop. Stop chasing them. Alright, good. Oh, we lost. Alright, pretend that didn't... A loss isn't a loss, really. You just lose a bunch of men so you can go back and engage the same army. But you get the idea. Like, I can choose to... we basically get... At least we get some XP. But we didn't get any money. That's the problem here. But we can rearm everyone. And you know what? He's going to be tied up for a bit. So why not go down to this town? Oh, there was someone else there. Alright, you get the idea. But before I continue, let me just show you what the later game armies look like. Where's my end fight? As you can see, this is from my previous game. So this is what that looks like. I'm about to show you. So this is my unit here. 13,000 men. And this is their men. This is their army. About 10,000. And this is what your army can look like. All these guys, all of your officers also level up. And you can get significant bonuses. As you can see, you can change up everyone's muskets. You can change up... There are different types of muskets. And then we've got our little artillery. You can change... I never had the time to change my... I should have visited a found. These are basic artillery guns. You can get much better, much more robust guns if you want. I believe we can have up to 5. Yeah, we can have up to 5 brigades. And so on. So let's fight. Let me show you what the big fights look like. How much time are we at? 30 minutes. I don't want this to go on for too long. I assure you I did win this fight. I assure you. That doesn't mean we're going to win it this time. So this is what it looks like now. Do we have a hill? Yes, we don't. Yes, we don't. No hills. Well, we've got a hill here. So if we were to be able to position our artillery to be able to get on this hill it would be pretty great. Let's, Frederick, you need to stay. Oh, also the regiments, you've got Prussian Fusiliers. We've still got a couple of recruits, but generally we've got ourselves some Hessian Musketeers. These are all more elite units, right? So hang on. What we want to do here, Musketeers, get all of our frontline guys. We're going to do something similar. And we want double time. It's going to exhaust them, but I don't care. And then we will be lining up all the way from here to here. And they've got 2 artillery. No, they've got 3 artillery regiments. And they've got, oh my god, they've got so many horsemen. So let's just get cracking. This artillery is... not artillery, sorry. These cavalry units are going to be a problem. Engage them. I'm just fast forwarding that you wouldn't do this. Alright, never mind. Apparently you would do this. I'm just gonna charge everyone in. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, we've been routed on this side. That's why they're so confident. Gotcha. So normally, obviously, you're not gonna be playing this at this speed, right? Tie him up. And I guess you can fire into their knights, cavalry rather, and then move in, shoot. All right, they're shattered, which is unfortunate. Tie him up and shoot him. Okay, some of you have rallied. So let's go back, please. I'm just going to speed through this, because I don't want this video to take too long. Yes, we could fight and micromanage this army, and it would be very fun to do so. But even your... okay, I never really got to their artillery. Their artillery is a big problem here, of course. They're veterans. We're kind of veterans. We've been shattered. It's fine. We've lost, but you get the idea. This is the game. So it's like, you move through the map, you try to get strong, and because you lose the final battle, you lose the campaign. Normally when you lose the smaller battles, as you saw previously, you could just level up and get better equipment, and then try again, but when you lose the final combat, you lose the final combat. So that's that. This was... wait, this wasn't Fire Manouvre. Which one was this? There you go. Forgot the name already. Master of Command. This was Master of Command, everyone. It's coming out on the 27th. If you like what you see, take a look. If the price point is alright, I may pick it up myself in the future. Again, there's a lot of games to play, but maybe some other day in the future when they go for... some sales or whatnot, it may be worth. It's also obvious that they're going to have a lot of DLCs. There are mentions of the Ottomans and other factions, so maybe they'll come in as a DLC, depending on how well, because I think the scope of the first game was a little too much, and they ended up bankrupting themselves, and I guess they want to avoid that fate for this game. But yeah, this was Master of Command, and Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.